Good afternoon and welcome to Sully Anderson Field on the campus of Ouachita Baptist University. For today's Great American Conference series opener between the visiting Cotton Blossoms of the University of Arkansas-Monticello and the home team, the Ouachita Lady Tigers. This is a series that's supposed to begin last night, but due to weather in the area, is postponed to one game today beginning at 5 o'clock, and then a doubleheader tomorrow here at Sully Anderson Field beginning at 1 o'clock. Take a look at the conference standings. Ouachita comes into the game with an 11-10 GAC record. They are currently 6th place in the Great American Conference, and the UAM Cotton Blossoms are 6-14 in conference play, 11th. Both of these teams are trying to stay in that top 8. The GAC softball tournament will be an 8-team single elimination tournament, all to be played in Bentonville, Arkansas. A little bit different setup, as the teams are glad to be able to have a conference tournament. So the Ouachita Tigers are currently in 6th place at 11-10 overall, and UAM at 6-14. Take a look at the starting lineups for UAM. They'll lead off with Bailey Camp batting first and playing shortstop. Caitlin Stamper will bat second and play second base. Haley Goto will catch and bat third. They will be the first three in the order for UAM. They will face Madison Miller. Gets the start on the mound or in the circle for the Ouachita Tigers. Around the infield, Sloan Precure at third base, Hope Wade at shortstop, Kirsten Shaw getting the start at second base, Lauren Lester at first. Left to right in the outfield, Kendall Moyer in left, Heather Brown in center, and Callie Jordan in right field. Jillian Jones gets behind the plate, and Madison Miller's first pitch is a called strike one to Bailey Camp. The shortstop for UAM stands in from the left side, and an 0-1 count to the leadoff batter for UAM. It is a windy day at Sully Anderson Field, but we're just glad to be able to be here. The 0-1 pitch is low, taken for ball one. Last night in the area, really all across the southern part of Arkansas, severe storms. The softball team and Coach Grimes were out this morning taking the tarp off the field. As a 1-1 pitch comes from Miller, it's a foul ball down the third base line for strike two. But the tarp was effective. Rather than dumping the water into left field, they formed a little pool in the tarp around the shortstop and third base where Precure and Wade are standing. Pump the water out to keep the outfield dry, and that's why we have such a dry surface this evening. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch from Madison Miller to Bailey Camp is high for ball two. We'll have our score bug fixed for you in a minute, but until then, we will keep you abreast on the situation, just like you're going old school on the radio. 2-2 count. The 2-2 pitch is a ground ball to third base under the glove of Precure, and so Bailey Camp will reach on an E5, and UAM gets the leadoff runner on as Camp goes the other way with it and just got under the glove of Sloan Precure. And that'll bring up Caitlin Stamper, the second baseman, stands in from the right side with nobody out, and Bailey Camp at first base. Infield on the corners, and first pitch swinging, foul down the third base line into the visitors' coach's box. The 0-1 pitch is taken. Oh, it's called strike two. So 0-2 the count now to Caitlin Stamper. No balls, 2 strikes. The count to the second base from UAM. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runner on first is Bailey Camp. The 0-2 pitch just misses outside. Madison Miller wanted that one. Tell on your screen, they had just been a little bit outside, so 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count. The scoreboard has 2 and 1, but the first pitch was fouled off. The second pitch was taken. The runner was going, a foul ball back to the screen or to the net, And Stamper stays alive, and the count is now, or stays 1-2. One ball, two strikes, nobody out. The 1-2 pitch coming from Miller. Swing and a foul ball out of play down the right side, and it'll stay 1-2. Chris Babb here with you on a beautiful Saturday evening in Southwest Arkansas for this opener of the Great American Conference, three-game Great American Conference Series between Ouachita and UAM. Sitting in for Matthew Branch, who couldn't be with us this weekend. Another 1-2 pitch, changeup, released a little high, and Stamper has run the count now to 2-2, although the scoreboard, I believe, still has 3-2 because they thought the second pitch that was a called strike and caught everybody by surprise, and so now it is still 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch is outside, ball 3, and the runner was going, and with the wild pitch, the runner will advance to second without a throw. And so now the count runs full, 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out here in the top of the first inning, and Bailey Camp is on second base after she reached on the E5. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count, nobody out. Stamper, the 3-2 pitch, fouled back to the net. She stays alive on a fastball that jammed her up and in. Wind is blowing out right into the face of the defense, blowing from home plate to center. The 3-2 pitch, swing and another foul ball out of play. Stamper stays alive. Stamper, a senior from Sanger, Texas. The 3-2 pitch taken for a called strike 3 right on the outside corner. So the first out of the inning here in the top of the first comes via the backwards K as Caitlin Stamper gets called out on strikes on the outside part of the plate. Haley Godo steps in. Godo is a redshirt senior from Cecilia, Louisiana. Cecilia. Not up on my Louisiana towns. Most of them transfer from LSU Eunice. She takes the first pitch she sees, a high for ball 1. So 1-0 count, runner on second, 1 out here in the top of the first, no score. Ground ball to third, just foul. Procure did pick that up in foul territory. So now the count is 1-1 to Haley Godo, who gets a start at catcher. Again, 5 o'clock start in this game that was supposed to be played yesterday, and we'll have a doubleheader tomorrow afternoon. A beautiful weekend here in Southwest Arkansas after last night. A fly ball to right field. Callie Jordan checks back, steps back, gets under it, makes the catch, and makes a throw to third. Not in time. Camp advances to third. Godo is retired on the F9, so now with 2 outs, UAM has a runner at third base. And the cleanup hitter, Grace Neal. Neal, a freshman from Cabot High School, home of the Panthers. She steps in with an RBI opportunity and 2 strikes. Takes a first pitch fastball for called strike 1 from Madison Miller. Madison trying to get out of this jam as Bailey Camp reached on an error. Ground ball to Procure. She fields. She's up and throws across. Catch is made by Lauren Lester. And Madison Miller retires Grace Neal on the 5-3 put out. Strands 1 runner, so there were no runs on no hits. There was 1 runner and 1 error and 1 runner left on base. To the bottom of the first here at Sully Anderson Field, Ouachita and UAM. UAM 0, Ouachita coming to bat. You're watching Ouachita Tigers softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, and we'll be back after this. It'll be Hope Wade, Heather Brown, and Sloan Precure to start things off in the bottom of the first for the Ouachita Tigers. They will face Maddie Chalenberg in the circle for UAM. Hope Wade started shortstop. She leads things off for Ouachita, batting .325 on the season. 17 runs, 27 hits, 5 of those doubles. She has walked 5 times, and she's ahead in the count 2-0, and that 2-0 pitch is taken for a called strike 1. Two balls, 1 strike to the Ouachita leadoff hitter. A high fly ball to deep right field. If it's fair, it's got a chance. That is a foul ball. It just went in front of the foul pole as Hope Wade gave the 2-1 pitch a ride. The right field fence at Sully Anderson is 190, and that ball was 200 if it was maybe 210, but just foul, and the count is 2-2. A loud strike from Hope Wade. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball right in front of the pitcher. The catcher will come out, but there is not going to be a play as Hope Wade gets a hit on an infield single. And she brings up Heather Brown, the center fielder. Heather Brown batting .329 on the season. 25 hits, also 5 of those doubles. .395 slugging percentage. She also steps in from the left side. Heather getting the start in center field tonight for Ouachita. Brown squares around to bunt, pulls it back. And the pitch was taken for a ball. So Brown is ahead in the count 1-0. Third baseman Neal expecting a bunt. The 1-0 pitch is in the dirt. Nice stop by Godot to get that fastball. It just didn't quite slipped out of the hands, I guess, of Chalenberg. And the count is 2-0 now to Heather Brown. Godot will go out to the circle and talk to her pitcher. Hope Wade is at first. She followed up a 200-foot strike down the right field line with a 10-foot single. Wade was just about 10 feet shy, left and right wise, from having a leadoff home run. But now Brown stands in with a 2-0 count. The 2-0 pitch is taken for a called strike 1. So 2-1 the count as that pitch, the fastball, got just the upper and outside part of the zone. 2-1 count. Brown squares around to bunt, but pulls it back, and the count is 2-1. 2 balls, 1, excuse me. Now 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Bottom of the first, no score. The 3-1 pitch to Brown, taken for a called strike 2. And now the count is full. Chalenberg gets her sign. The 3-2 pitch. Ground ball through the right side into right field. The right fielder does a nice job of charging the ball, not allowing Wade to advance to third. That right fielder is Webster. Sydney Webster read that one right off the bat. The second baseman, Stamper, was covering the bag, and Heather Brown just pulled that one right through the right side. And now 2 singles have Ouachita with a runner in scoring position, and Sloan Precure to the plate for the Tigers. Batting .296 on the season. First pitch she sees is a changeup that bounces and hits Precure after it bounces a couple of times. So the runners were going with the pitch, but it did not matter because it did hit Precure. After it bounced a couple of times, caught her on the left ankle. And so now the bases are loaded. UAM coaching staff is going to come out and give a talk to Maddie Schellenberg, who has not retired and recorded an out. Try to settle things down, and that brings up Jillian Jones. Jones, 355 on the season, 19 RBIs, 5 home runs, 27 hits. Offensive leader for the Tigers, has a chance to get things going here in the bottom of the first inning. No score. Jillian Jones trying to change that here with the bases loaded and nobody out. Wind is blowing out. First pitch to Jones is a fastball high for ball 1. Hope Wade reached on an infield single that went halfway between the catcher, the plate, and the pitcher. Heather Brown singled to right. Sloan Procure was hit by the first pitch she saw. And now Jones is ahead in the count 1-0 with nobody out. The 1-0 pitch just misses upstairs for ball 2. Jones has tremendous RBI opportunity and team leader in that, but also has a pitcher who has been struggling. The 2-0 pitch misses low and inside for ball 3. So now 3-0 count. Coach Grimes gave Julia the take sign or the green light. The 3-0 pitch she was taking all the way, and that is 4 straight balls. And Hope Wade scores. Heather Brown to third, Sloan Precure to second, and it is an RBI base on balls for Julia Jones. Lauren Lester comes up. Lester, the first, getting the start at first base for Ouachita. Batting .254 on the season. Schellenberg gets ahead in the count to Lester, something she had not been able to do the last 3 batters. The 0-1 pitch to Lester fouled back to the backstop, and so quickly Lauren Lester is in the hole 0-2 and is going to have to protect. Big spot here for both teams early in the game. Ouachita trying to add to a 1-0 lead. Schellenberg and UAM trying to limit the damage. The 1-1-0-2 pitch is fouled out of play. Almost a little Roy Hobbs moment. Just had the natural. That ball caught the light pole behind the Ouachita dugout. All we needed was the lightning, some dark, and a 1920 uniforms. We'd have the natural. The 0-2 pitch. Nice job by Lester of getting a piece of that one, not allowing Godot to hold on to it. 4 strike 3, and so Lester stays alive. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. To Lauren Lester. And now the UAM coach is going to come out and take a look at the catcher. It looked like that ball caught the arm. Ball or it was on the glove hand of the UAM catcher, Godot. Not sure if the ball caught her or if she thought the bat of Lester might have caught her, but regardless, the 0-2 pitch to Lester is Schellenberg had one to waste. She went low and outside. Nice stop by Godot. Nice take by Lester. And the count is 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs here. Bottom of the first, Ouachita up 1-0, trying to add more. The 1-2 pitch is a high fly ball to deep left field. That would have been a grand slam, but it was about 15 feet foul. Lester gets around on that one, no doubt. Stays alive. And after being in the hole 0-2, she's seen 4 more pitches since that. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball doesn't have a chance as it slips out of the hands of Schellenberg. She'll reach down, get some more dirt, wipe them on the right side of the green pants, and step back in the circle. Its count is now 2-2. The 2-2 pitch to Lauren Lester. The Ground ball to shortstop. Going to come home with it and be able to make the play. The nice play by Bailey Camp at shortstop to come home to Godot, who had her foot on the plate and made the catch. So Lester reaches on the fielder's choice. Brown is out 6-2 for the first out of the inning. Procure advances to third, and Jones advances to second. I don't know if you saw it on the shot or not before that pitch. I don't believe so, but Sloan Procure was giving Lester a little bit of a heads up on where the catcher was setting up, trying to help the teammate out. Callie Jordan comes in. She's the right fielder. She also bats with the bases loaded, batting .319 on the season, 11 RBI. Does not have a home run yet this season. Center fielder playing her the opposite field, and maybe it's because the pitch was going outside, and it does. It catches the outside part of the plate, according to the home plate umpire, and the Schellenberg gets ahead in the count, 0-1. Bases loaded, one out. The 0-1 pitch is a changeup that the catcher tries to do a nice job of framing, but just a little bit too low. Evens the count at 1-1. A lineup, top of the order, heavy left-handers for Ouachita. The 0-2 pitch, the 1-1 pitch. The scoreboard struggling a little bit today. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed for strike two. One ball, two strikes, one out. The 1-2 pitch, ground ball again to shortstop. Camp's going to come home with it, but not be in time. Sloan Procure, good read. Camp trying to come home to get the second out of the inning, but was not able to. Nice job of reading. Nice jump by Procure. Jordan reaches on the fielder's choice. She gets an RBI. Jones is at third. Lauren Lester advances to second, and now Madison Miller has a chance to help her own cause with Ouachita leading 2-0 with one out. First pitch is a fastball called strike one. Madison Miller batting .269 on the season, 18 hits, 2 homers, 7 RBI, trying to add to her total. The 0-1 pitch is low for ball one. The count is even to the Ouachita pitcher. The 1-1 pitch on the way from Schellenberg. Madison Miller calls time. Miller, a junior from Nashville, Arkansas. The center fielder just way over to the left side, left center field area. And Madison Miller takes the 1-1 pitch for a called strike two. So now she'll have to protect. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Ouachita junior pitcher. Trying to help her own cause with the bases loaded, only one out, a 2-0 lead. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a shot down the left field line, but that's going to be foul. Madison Miller stays alive, took that fastball that was about the numbers, turned on it and went down the left field line, but just a little bit too much, and it was foul. And we'll do it again. The 1-2 pitch. Schellenberg trying to get Miller to chase. She would not. And the count is 2-2 now. Bases full of Tigers. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three on a changeup inside. And Madison Miller is retired for the second out of the inning. So Kendall Doctor has a chance to add to this lead. The senior from Rowlett, Texas. She's the designated player in the lineup today, batting 8th for Ouachita. First pitch swinging a high shot to left center field. That's going to get down. It's going to score 1. It's going to score 2. Runner to third base. They're going to try to get Doctor at second. She is called out on the play as Doctor slid in safely, but she was called out, so I guess she slid in out. The runs did score before the out was made at second base, so Ouachita does get 2 runs. Jillian Jones scores to make it 3-0, and then Lauren Lester also scored to make it 4-0. So 2 runs scores. It is 4-0. and Doctor gets 2 RBIs. Will go down as a single, and then an 8-4 put out, I believe. Yeah, an 8-4 put out for the last out of the inning. So take a little bit to calculate this one. It'll be 4 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors in the inning, and there were 2 runners left on base. After 1, Ouachita 4, UAM 0. Back to Sully Anderson Field after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
Wichita.
Achita.
Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita.
Washita. Washita.
How would you pronounce it?
Washita.
Washita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Washita, people. It's Washita.
Washita.
Welcome back to Sully Anderson Field as we start the top of the 2nd inning. Ouachita 4, UAM 0. It will be the 6, 7, 8 hitters for UAM. Sierra Gasca, the center fielder, Sydney Webster, and Haley Cornell. Caroline Tedder will bat if any of those 3 reach. I have 4 runs on 3 hits. The live stat says 4 runs on 4 hits. So we'll check that, make sure that our book matches. And so Sierra Gasca steps in, facing Madison Miller in the circle, and that wind is still blowing out. You probably hear in your microphone a little bit, blowing now out from 3rd base to right field. Madison Miller, her 2nd inning of work. The 1-0 pitch is hit into left field between the hole and through the hole between 3rd and short, as Hope Wade made a diving attempt across her body but couldn't quite control it. It got a glove on it, but it is a single for Sierra Gasca to lead things off in the 2nd inning. That is the first base hit of the inning of the game for UAM, but it is the 2nd straight leadoff runner, the leadoff batter that has gotten on. A nice bunt, and that's going to be tough play, and nobody's going to be able to make a play as, Mahala Mitchell had that first leadoff center. My apologies there. Mahala Mitchell, the left fielder, led off the 2nd inning, and now Sierra Gasca gets the single on the bunt. So Mahala Mitchell, the left fielder, is now at 2nd base. Sierra Gasca's bunt single puts 2 runners on and nobody out for Sydney Webster, the right fielder. And now UAM has something going here, trying to cut into this 4-0 Ouachita lead. Fastball taken for a called strike 1. From Madison Miller. Miller on the season, 2.79 ERA as Webster squares around a bunt, did not get it down. Nice job by Hope Wade as Procure was crashing. Nice job by Hope Wade of covering 3rd, not leaving that base open. So now the count is 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2 count. Fastball outside. Miller 5-5 on the season, 2.79 ERA coming into today's game, 6 complete games. At 18 strikeouts coming into the game, she struck out 1, trying to get another, but the 1-2 pitch is taken for ball 2. Again, as we mentioned, the Great American Conference Tournament is an 8-team single elimination tournament at the end of the season. 3 more weeks after this one in conference play. Ouachita has a tough test next weekend at Southeastern Oklahoma State, the league leader. The 1-2 pitch is fouled back, and Sydney Webster stays alive. Southeastern Oklahoma State in first place at 17-3 on the season. Ouachita goes to Durant next weekend for a 3-game set. Then they will have East Central Oklahoma, who currently 10-13. 2 games behind Ouachita in 8th place. The 2-2 pitch for Miller. Fouled out of play. Webster stays alive. After the East Central series, Ouachita at home, Ouachita will wrap up the regular season with Southern Nazarene here for a 3-game set at Sully Anderson Field. Southern Nazarene is 5th place right now in the standings at 14-9 coming into this weekend. We'll give you some results as we move on through this evening's game. Results from today's action. So Ouachita currently in 6th place. They have lost 4 straight. Had a tough 1-0 loss to Henderson State Tuesday night here at Sully Anderson Field. The 2-2 pitch to Webster. Taken for a called strike 3. So the second strikeout of the day for Madison Miller. Both of those of the backwards variety. Caught the batters looking on that outside part of the plate. Talked about the Henderson loss. A tough one, 1-0 Tuesday night. And then Ouachita had a rough weekend in Russellville last weekend, losing all 3 to the Golden Suns. So now Haley Cornell, the designated player, comes in. She takes a fastball. K-zone would have had that nicking the bottom part of the zone, I believe. So strike 1 to Haley Cornell. For Madison Miller, the 0-1 pitch is taken on the outside part of the plate for strike 2. So Madison Miller's found her stride the last 4 or 5 pitchers. Got a smile on her face, and see if you're going to give me that spot, I'll see how far out I can go. The 0-2 pitch. Good take that time by Cornell. Cornell is a junior from Bentonville, Arkansas. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a foul ball out of play. Still 1-2. Cornell stays alive. You're going to see a lot of softballs be thrown into play today as anything that goes foul. The field is very dry, except for the place where water always collects and doesn't get much sun. That's to the first base side of home plate, between the home plate and the visitor's dugout. They did put some dirt around there to try to soak up some of that, but that is always the wettest spot and lowest spot on the field. But other than that, the field is dry. We're looking really good. The 1-2 pitch from Madison Miller is a changeup that doesn't quite have enough on it to fool Cornell. So now the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the top of the 2nd inning, 4-0 Ouachita. Runners on 1st and 2nd for the Cotton Blossoms as they try to cut into this 2-run lead. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Madison Miller retires Haley Cornell with the fastball low that Cornell could not touch. And now 2 straight strikeouts for Miller. 2 outs in the inning, and Caroline Tedder, the first baseman, comes up for UAM. Tedder, a junior from Forney High School in Forney, Texas, takes a big hack at the first pitch she sees from Madison Miller. Comes up empty, and Madison Miller is ahead in the count. 3 strikeouts on the day from Madison Miller. The 0-1 pitch. Did she check her swing? They're not even going to have to appeal. The home plate umpire says she did not, and Madison Miller is ahead in the count, 0-2. So after 2 singles, or single to left field from Mitchell, a bunt single from Gasca, Madison Miller is on the verge of stranding both of those. This 0-2 pitch is just a bit high. She tried to go upstairs and get the 0-2 pitch. Nice take that time by Caroline Tedder. And the count is 1-2. The 1-2 pitch taken for a called strike 3. 3 strikeouts in the inning, 2 of them looking. Madison Miller now has 4 strikeouts, so no runs for UAM on 2 hits. There were no errors, 2 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. Ouachita 4, UAM 0. Back to Sully Anderson Field after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
In the number 2 position on our top 30 countdown this week, here's In Your Hands. Hey, are you trying to kill us both?
What?
Are you aware that on average there are almost 10 texting and driving deaths each day?
No, that's awful.
Yeah, it is awful, so don't do it. The text can wait.
Thanks.
Anytime. And now...
Remember, the text can wait.
It'll be the 9-1-2 hitters for the Ouachita Tigers. As we start the bottom of the second inning, Kendall Moyer steps in, squares around a bunt, and drags one just past the reach of the pitcher Schellenberg. The second baseman Stamper was there and just makes the play just in time as Moyer is retired on the 4-3 put out for the first out of the inning. We did have a defensive substitution for UAM. Did not report those to us or the public address, but we'll watch for that. Go back to the top of the order and Hope Wade. Wade had a single and scored in the first. She had a loud strike over the right field fence, just foul. And then she had a single about 10 feet in front of the plate, and she's in the hole 0-1. The 0-1 pitch just misses outside. A good spot that time from Schellenberg, but just about a ball and a half outside on the outside edge of the plate, and the count is even at 1-1. The 1-1 pitch shot into the right field. That's going to get over the head of the right fielder. Wade rounds first. She's going to round second. There's going to be a throw at third. It's not going to be in time. The ball gets away from the third baseman, but the left fielder and pitcher both were backing that throw up and kept Hope Wade from being able to reach or advance home. So Hope Wade's now 2 for 2. She has a 1-out triple to right field over the head of the right fielder, and now we can tell that right fielder is for UAM is the defensive substitution. That is Madison Morrissey, a freshman from North Little Rock, Arkansas, North Little Rock High School. Looking right into the sun. Welcome to the game. You get a line drive that you can't catch up to. Nice bunt right in front of the plate for Heather Brown. The catcher throws to first to make the play. It was a nice scoop by Caitlin Stamper, the second baseman covering the bag. She had to catch that on the hop. Hope Wade scores to make it 5-0. She advanced as soon as she saw the catcher throw to first. So the speedy Hope Wade scores. It's a sacrifice bunt from Heather Brown. For the second out of the inning, she does get 1 RBI and makes it 5-0, and that'll bring up Sloan Procure. She was hit by a pitch the first at bat, and she stepped out of that one just a little bit, took a big swing, and just couldn't quite come up with it, and now she's in the hole 0-1. Center field really shading to left field. Big hole, and that may be why she ropes that one almost to our trailer. Probably roll up the hill and go to the batting cages. Now you see why that center fielder's shading left. If Procure can get one into the right center field gap, she'll have a chance to run. But she's in the hole 0-2, and she just wants to put something in play. The 0-2 pitch is outside for ball 1. Procure, a senior from Canyon, Texas. The 1-2 pitch is low for ball 2. Again, first of a 3-game GAC set between these two teams. Have a doubleheader tomorrow beginning at 1 o'clock, a rare Sunday afternoon game. The 1-ball, 2-strike pitch to Procure. She reaches out for it. That's going to be tough. The shortstop is over with the throw and makes the play just in time to retire Procure on the 6-3 putout. But Washita does score again. There was a 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and no runners left on base. After 2, Washita 5, UAM 0. Back to Sully Anderson Field after this timeout. You're watching Washita Tiger softball on the Washita Sports Digital Network.
Getting directions to Washita Baptist University.
A busy day in the world of Washita athletics, and as the Washita baseball team's on the road at Monticello. Had a busy early afternoon, too, as the Washita women's soccer team had a first-round GAC tournament matchup against the Northwestern Oklahoma State University Rangers, and that went 0-0 at full time. Then they went to 2 extra periods, and neither team scored. And then in penalty kicks, Washita was able to defeat Northwestern State. I believe it was 3-2 in penalty kicks. So Washita women's soccer advances to the semifinals of the Great American Conference Women's Soccer Tournament. And those semifinals will be next Thursday at Oklahoma Baptist in Shawnee. Thanks for joining us today. Chris Babb filling in for Matthew Branch, Luke Robertson in the truck, James Jolly, and one camera, Noah Brown on the other. Students in the Washita Sports Digital Network bringing you the action today. We go back to the top of the order to start the 3rd inning for UAM. It's Bailey Camp. She fouls off the first pitch she sees after she squared around a bunt. So Madison Miller, who's given up 2 hits in 2 innings. She struck out 4, including the last 3 that she faced. Camp reached on an E5 in the first inning, was stranded at 3rd, and she is in the hole 0-1. The 0-1 pitch is low for ball 1. The 1-1 pitch squares around a bunt and misses everything, and Jill Jones is able to hold on to that one. So now 1-2 the count now to the UAM shortstop and leadoff batter Bailey Camp. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball. Miller taps it with her glove, and a hard shot over from Hope Wade at shortstop to Kendall Doctor at first. But Bailey Camp reaches on the single to the shortstop, and I think maybe if that had not been slowed down by just to the edge of Madison Miller's glove, there might have been able to record the 6-3 out. She looks over the dugout and says, sorry, it's kind of hard to hold off that instinct of grabbing the ball. Want to make a play and go try to make it. She was about 3 inches from snagging that one and making a 1-3 put out. Instead, it is a game of inches, and Bailey Camp was on the positive side of that play, and she is at first base with a leadoff single. That's the 3rd hit of the day for UAM. Now Caitlin Stamper steps in. She struck out looking in the first inning, and now she is in the hole 0-1. Foul ball down the left field line. Stamper is now in the hole 0-2. 1-2, 0-2 pitch, a ball into right field. That's going to get down. If it's there, nice catch. That was in fair territory, and Callie Jordan with an amazing catch down the right field line, going to the line. Stuck the left hand, the glove hand out, made a diving catch at it, and that's going to go down as an F9 with an exclamation point. Kaylin Stamper retired on the F9 as Callie Jordan does a nice job of tracking that one down, looking into the sun. Got a nice jump on it, made the dive at the last second, and was able to make the catch for the first out of the inning. Haley Godot, the catcher, comes up. The runner goes. It's a ground ball to Wade at short. She's up, and a nice shot over to the first baseman, Lauren Lester. Nice job by Lester of keeping her foot on the bag as the throw from Wade was in time, just a little bit down the line. But the out is recorded on the 6-3 put out. And so now with 2 outs, Grace Neal steps in. Bailey Camps is at second base now. She was stranded in the first inning. And now Madison Miller will try to strand her on the bases once again. Grace Neal comes up, the freshman from Cabot. She plays third base. She grounded out to Procure to end the first inning at third base. Takes the fastball from Miller high and outside. The 1-0 pitch also misses for ball 2. The 2-0 pitch is fouled out of play down the right side, and now the count is 2-1. Take a look at some of the scores from around the conference. Southeastern Oklahoma leading the conference. Had an extra inning win in a rivalry game at Southwestern Oklahoma. 5-3. That was in 8 innings. Northwestern Oklahoma State falls to Oklahoma Baptist 4-3 in Shawnee. The 2-1 pitch misses. And 3-1. East Central defeated Southern Nazarene 4-1. And some of these are final first games and second games. Arkansas Tech is across the street at Henderson State, and the Golden Suns defeated the Reddies 8-6. The 3-1 pitch, a shot into right center field, and that's going to be it down, and that's going to score a run. That's going to go to the fence. Neal's going to try to advance to second. She does without a throw, and so Bailey Camp scores on the RBI double with 2 outs from Grace Neal. First run of the game for UAM comes on a 2-out RBI double to right center field from Grace Neal. So Mahala Mitchell steps in now with an RBI opportunity to try to cut into this 5-1 Ouachita lead. The first pitch she sees from Madison Miller is high for ball 1. Southern Arkansas got a 5-0 win over Harding. We go through some more scores. Mitchell pulls the 1-0 pitch down the line for strike 1. As mentioned, Arkansas Tech defeated Henderson State 8-6 in game 1 of their doubleheader today. They'll begin game 2. Well, they began game 2 at 4 o'clock. So they're in the middle of game 2. And then Southern Arkansas completed the sweep of Harding as they won 5-0, 5-0. East Central and Southern Nazarene also playing a doubleheader. Their second game might be over by now. They started at 3 o'clock. Madison Miller gets the ball that she wants to pitch with, and we're ready to go. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top of the 3rd inning, 5-1 Ouachita lead. The 1-1 pitch is a fastball low for ball 2. So Grace Neal stands at second. She had a 2-out RBI double to right center field fence. And now she is going to try to score if Mahala Mitchell is able to put the ball in the outfield. The 2-1 pitch. Nice job by Mitchell of laying off of that one. And the count is now 3-1. 3-1 pitch, a ground ball right back to Miller. And Miller says thank you very much for making that one about as easy as you could do it. A check swing. Mitchell couldn't quite check the swing enough. 1-3 is the putouts, but UAM does get 1 run. It came on 2 hits. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner left on base. To the bottom of the third, Ouachita 5, UAM 1. Back to Sully Anderson after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Another substitution as we had to run over between innings and check things out. That was the sub for UAM was 7 for 4, and now another substitution into the game for the Cotton Blossoms as Krista Lannon, a freshman from Farmersville, Texas, Farmersville High School, will come in to replace Mahala Mitchell. We start the bottom of the third inning, and Jill Jones, she walked and scored in the first, and she takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike 1 to begin the bottom of the third with Ouachita leading 5-1. Shailenberg took something off of that one, and that was a nice pitch, and so now she's ahead in the count, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to Jilla Jones, batting 4th in the batting order and leading off here in the third. Good pitch that time by Shailenberg, but good discipline by Jones as she laid off of that ball that was outside of the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch is a ground ball to the shortstop. Had some spin on it, but a nice play at shortstop by Bailey Camp to retire Jillian Jones, 6-3 on the putout. Lauren Lester will come. She reached on the fielder's choice in the first and scored on the 2 RBI double from Kendall Doctor. Lester bats with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Nobody on, the freshman from North Little Rock. Takes a fastball on the inside part of the plate for strike 1. Lester also went to North Little Rock High School, as did Madison Morrissey from UAM, so a couple of teammates. Morrissey, a freshman for UAM. Lauren Lester, also a freshman for Ouachita. So 2 young ladies graduated last year in one of the weirdest years they could have graduated in, as their seasons were cut short all over the place. The 0-2 pitch from Lester just missed. The catcher, Godot, was ready to hopped up and was ready to throw down to Tedder at first base to record after the strikeout, but it is ball 1. The 1-2 pitch is another one that slips out of the hands of Shailenberg. So now the count is 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. High fly ball to right field. The right fielder camps out under it. Morrissey makes the catch. In foul territory, I believe. So Lester is retired on the foul fly ball to right field for the second out of the inning. And Callie Jordan comes to the plate with 2 outs here in the third. This would be the first time that Shailenberg has been able to retire the Tigers in order, as Ouachita sent 8 people to the plate in the first inning, 4 to the plate in the second inning. Now Jordan is head in the count, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch misses high for ball 2. You're in a junior from Port Neches Grove, Texas High School, Crystal Beach, Texas. Academic All GAC last year, started 21 of the 22 games that Ouachita did get to play. Freshman year had an 8-game hit streak, batting .300 over that stretch. She stands in now trying to extend the inning to Madison Miller. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. The 3-1 pitch fouled out of play, and so now the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 3-2 pitch is popped up to Bailey Camp at shortstop. She camps out under it. Pun not intended, but used. And she makes the 3rd out of the inning on the pop-up to the shortstop. So, for Ouachita, no runs on no hits. There were no errors, no runners left on base. After 3, Ouachita 5, UAM 1. Back to Sully Anderson Field for the 4th inning on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network after this.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. We know how that turned out. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens. Fact, more than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping, and 80% say their first e-cigarette was flavored. Vaping is harmful to developing brains. The reason we think vaping is safe? Marketing. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
Baseball for me just kind of was the glue that kept my family together. I feel like I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
We start the top of the 4th inning with Ouachita leading 5-1. 1 run on 4 hits, no errors for UAM, 5 runs on 5 hits, 1 error for Ouachita. It'll be the 6, 7, 8 hitters for UAM. Sierra Gasca reached on a bunt single. Squares around a bunt and comes up empty for strike 1. Gasca led off was the second batter in the 2nd inning. Bunted Mitchell to second, and they were stranded as Miller retired the next 3 via the strikeout. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Sierra Gasca. The 1-1 pitch is outside. Gasca, a senior from West Monroe, Louisiana. Also a transfer from LSU Eunice. 2-1 pitch from Miller. Fouled out of play for strike 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes now. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to second base. Kirsten Shaw fields it. Nice stretch from Lauren Lester at first base. And Gasca is retired on the 4-3 put out as Kirsten Shaw fielded the ball on 2 hops and threw over to Lester at first base. Sydney Webster comes to the plate now with one out in the top of the 4th inning. She struck out looking in the 2nd. A ground ball, Procure fields it up, and the throw over is in time. Another good stretch by Lauren Lester. Good throw by Procure. And just like that, Webster is retired on the 5-3 put out. So 2 outs on the board here in the top of the 4th inning, and Haley Cornell steps in. High fly ball to right field. It's going to be foul. Let's see if going to have a chance. That was Hallie Jordan in right field. Did a nice job of trying to track that one down, but couldn't quite make the play. A lot of foul territory down the lines, especially the right field line. Good for the pitchers. Enables fielders to make a play, but that was a long way to run for Callie Jordan. The 0-1 pitch is a fastball. Called strike 2. From our angle, we're kind of blocked by the catcher and the umpire. The 0-2 pitch is a high fly ball to left center field, and that one is not going to come back. Haley Cornell takes the 0-2 pitch to left center field, and that was a no-doubter off the bat. And the score is now 5-2 in favor of Ouachita, as Haley Cornell, the junior from Bentonville, Arkansas, puts a charge into that one. That was her 2nd home run of the season. The first one came against Delta State in a non-conference midweek matchup. So Cornell's solo home run brings up a new batter into the UAM lineup. This is going to be Alexis Peavehouse. She's going to bat for Caroline Tedder. Peavehouse, a sophomore from Melissa High School, Melissa, Texas, and she doubles down, hits a ball down the left field line, and she's going to try to go for 2. The throw is going to be cut, and they cut her off. They held her up. That was a tremendous job by Kendall Moyer in left field to get that ball in. That was a double if I've ever seen one, but they held Peavehouse up after she made a big turn at first base. Tremendous job by Kendall Moyer of getting over to the line to get that one in. And that held the runner at first base. So we go back to the top of the order to Bailey Camp. Camp singled and scored in the 3rd, reached on an error in the 1st. She'll try to extend this inning. It's top of the 4th with 2 outs, and Ouachita protecting a 5-2 lead. Squares around to bunt. Camp, that's going to be to Miller. Is there going to be enough time? It is. Nice play by Madison Miller. The nice throw over. She barehanded it. Made a nice throw over to Lauren Lester at first base. So Bailey Camp is retired for the first time today. And that ends the UAM threat, but not before UAM gets 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner left on base. To the bottom of the 4th we go, and we'll keep it right here. And we're going to be joined by Ouachita Athletic Director David Sharp, who's also had a busy day, and we'll make sure that Channel 2 and the trailers turned on so we can ask you questions and then let you go. But Coach Sharp, thanks for joining us today.
Sure.
You had a busy day. You know, you have a soccer match that starts at noon, at 2, and you have a softball that starts at 5. Usually there'd be plenty of time to get from one to the other, but then when you have a soccer go 2 extra periods and penalty kicks, it stretches it out. But it was a big win for women's soccer. We talked about it a little bit earlier. So a good win for women's soccer, and the softball team trying to make it a 2 for 2 on Saturday.
Yeah, it's a lot of activity going on today, and just a beautiful day here on campus. A little breezy, but we'll take it.
Madison Miller leads off the bottom of the 4th inning for Ouachita. Miller struck out in the 1st inning. We'll take breeze. We just don't want any more heavy stuff like we had last night. The 0-1 pitch to Miller swung on and missed for strike 2. But
yeah, I slept right through that. I guess I didn't hear a thing.
I would have if it had not been for a dog.
Well, Carrie told me that she was watching all these alerts that, as Miller takes another ball, but she said she saw these alerts and people saying go to shelter and all that. I didn't know a thing.
Yeah, it was a good storm, but boy, the soccer field earlier this morning and the softball field here, these teams worked tremendously as Madison Miller gets hit by the pitch. Schellenberg looked over thinking that she might have leaned her knee in there. She's looking over at the coach at the dugout trying to get some help. Yeah. But they're not going to.
I kind of thought she leaned her knee in there, but we'll take it, right?
We'll take it. So Madison Miller reaches a leadoff hit by pitch. And that's going to bring in a courtesy runner for Ouachita. We get our scorebook straight. Sarah Tuller, the junior from Plano, Texas, will be the courtesy runner, pinch runner for Madison Miller. Kendall Doctor will step in. She had a 2 RBI single in the 1st inning. She bats with nobody out and 1 on here in the bottom of the 4th inning. But yeah, saw Coach Grimes and his crew out early this morning. Half of them were in the cage, half of them were on the tarp, and then they switched. And then Coach Kevin Wright, the soccer coach, got up in the wee hours of the morning.
2:45 when it all passed through, and was out there squeegeeing the field and getting water off of that field. And you know, it's interesting watching our softball team down here. You know, most of the time, you and I were talking about this earlier, where you'll dump the water, just dump it on the grass. Well, there's not a whole lot of place to put the water here, and it's already wet, so they have a system where they funnel it to there, and then they pump it off and get it off to where it's not on the field. But
they bunched that tarp up and it almost made a little a pool. Yeah, and you're able to make some side and pump the water out and get the 5-gallon buckets and pour it out. And it took a little bit longer, but the field is a lot drier, especially out in left field.
No question. And that, of course, that's where all the water falls anyway, that way towards that left field. And so this field's been that way ever since I've been here. So But anyway, a lot of work done, and of course, don't have a lot of the teams have to do the work. So
1-0 pitch is squares around a bunt. Doctor does, but that's saying it's a we have one. The field umpire saying foul. The home plate umpire said fair. Field umpire comes in and says it hit the catcher. It is a foul ball, and the home plate umpire deferred. So the field umpire made the call on that one and overruled the home plate umpire.
He's been real quick on some of his calls. You notice how he calls them out before the ball gets in glove at first base?
Yes, he's been a little bit quick. I've been hearing couple of those last half inning when Ouachita was the factor of some of those. Couple of our UAM fans behind us noticed the same thing you did. Yeah. So the 0-2 pitch, a changeup taken for a called strike 3, and that was a beautiful pitch from Schellenberg to get the first out of the inning. And so Kendall Moyer comes to the plate now. So Kendall to Kendall. Kendall Moyer, the left fielder, grounded out to second base in the 2nd inning. And she bats with 1 out and 1 on. That is the courtesy runner, Sarah Tuller, running for Madison Miller, the pitcher. Baseball on the road at UAM today. Coach, we were talking about, I had to ask you earlier, we went over the standings of softball, and The GAC softball tournament is going to be an 8-team single elimination tournament at Bentonville at their nice facility up there. And so these teams trying, obviously you want to finish as high as you can, but you want to get in that 8 so you have a chance to go to Bentonville.
That's exactly right.
A shot from Moyer, nice stop by Stamper at second base, and she throws over to first base to retire the speedy Kendall Moyer. That was a great play by Caitlin Stamper, diving to her left to the glove side, making the play for the second out of the inning.
Coaches had actually voted that would have gone into effect during last year, a year ago, that they would go to a single elimination tournament. The coaches voted. So this will be the first year we have that, because in the past it's always been an 8-team double elimination tournament. But so it goes to a single elimination tournament all in one site.
Ball down the left field line is about a foot foul from Hope Wade. Hope Wade had a single in the first, a triple in the second, scored both of those, and she was close to probably having a double there with her speed and hitting left-handed, being able to get out of the box that quickly, but it was a strike. And so now Schalenberg is ahead in the count, 0-1. Runner in scoring position for Ouachita. The changeup is a nice pitch, and it caught Hope Wade off guard, and now Schalenberg's in the ahead in the count, in command, 0-2. Been hard to lay off of that one.
Oh, man. The only thing is you're wanting to swing about 10 seconds too quick.
Remind me of that Bugs Bunny cartoon where they was swung around 3 or 4 times. The 0-2 pitch coming from Hope Wade is outside and in the dirt. The runner is hung up between second and third. Now she's going to be caught in a rundown. The throw to third, and the tag is made. So Tuller took a big secondary lead and then got caught in no man's land, and UAM gets the put out on the 2-6-5 put out, and that ends the 4th inning. Ouachita still leading 5-4. Madison Miller will come out for her 5th inning of work. Coach, we've done a lot of these softball games. Obviously, it's a busy spring. We could talk for 2 hours about that, but let's talk about softball since that's what we're doing. Coach Grimes comes in and in a different situation, in December, right before you're going to start school in January. But it seems like, and the team in sixth place, they had a rough last week, so they were right in the thick of that conference race. But talk about the Coach Grimes and his work this season.
Well, we were very, December we knew we were looking for a coach. I think we hired Coach Grimes officially about January I think it was around the 12th or 13th, about 6 days before the girls were going to be back to start school. And so fortunate that he lives close, and I mean, we hired him, and the next day he's moving in an apartment in Arkadelphia here, and so of course we get his wife Janie. She's volunteer coach and doing just as much with our pitchers, and so that's a kind of a 2-for-1. But Coach Grimes, I think, has just done a great job of just pulling this together, and the talent that's here, and creating an atmosphere and a work ethic that's been advantageous, and that's how they're playing. But you can tell they're well versed defensively and doing a good job.
Chris Babb visiting with Ouachita Athletic Director David Sharp as Caitlin Stamper takes the first pitch she sees as we start the top of the 5th inning. First pitch she sees right under the glove of Madison Miller, right back up the middle. And Coach, you see that a lot of time in baseball. You make a great play in the field, you lead off the next inning, and that's a lot of times how it goes. Caitlin Stamper reaches on a single up the middle. Saw a piece that one of our students did on the Roar Rundown. They did or the Ouachita News Show interview with Coach Grimes, and it'll feature on the softball team. Just seems really excited to be here as well.
Yeah, and he's just such a likable guy, and he hit the ground running, and he's connected, and he's working on recruiting and coaching and doing all of that, all of the things at the same time. Coming in, basically had to hit the ground, going 90 miles an hour, but I've been real impressed with what he's done.
A hit and run situation as Godot takes that one to the right side. Stamper was off on the pitch, so she reaches second on the play. Godot is retired 3 unassisted for the first out of the inning. Nice play by Lauren Lester right down there on the 2-hopper there, playing in front of the bag and looking at the sun. A great play there.
Yeah, really, really good play. And
Actually,
it's Kendall Doctor.
Yeah, they moved, they moved Doctor. They moved
Kendall,
Doctor to first base. Yeah.
If she doesn't get that ball's in the corner down there, and that scores a run easily. So good play by Kendall.
Yeah, Kendall playing first base. I've been saying Lauren Lester didn't catch when they moved Doctor to first base for Lauren. So Kendall Doctor was also there last half inning when she made those couple of stretches. The 0-1 pitch from Miller. It's a ground ball to Procure. Plays that one on the hop, but the hop ate her up, and that will put runners at the corners for UAM as Grace Neal reaches on the E5. And so now runners at first and third for
very uncharacteristic of Sloan there, but just one of those in between the hops and trying to make the throw, but need a strikeout here and then get a ground ball or something, get out of this inning.
Krista Lannon comes up for the first time today. Lannon, a freshman from Farmersville, Texas. She went in for Mahala Mitchell after the third. And now we have a runner at first base for UAM.
It's been good to see the bats liven up today, Chris, because they were, as you mentioned, they were in a little bit of slump with it, and so we came out swinging today. It's good to see.
Hannah Holbrook is the runner, and they're going to try to get her hung up, and the runner at third. Let's see what's going to happen. They're coming to make a play at home, and that was tremendous execution by Hope Wade. Hannah Holbrook, the runner at first, tried to get hung up between first and second. She did. Jillian Jones made a nice throw down to Hope Wade, who ran Holbrook back to first, but as soon as the runner at third, Stamper, broke for home, Wade threw a strike to Jones, and it was an easy put out for the second out of the inning. You talk about defense.
Straight out of the book.
Yeah, you talk about defense. That was textbook execution of that.
That's what I meant. Play. They're well versed. That was executed right straight out of the book by Hope Wade and everybody there. Good play.
So now 2 outs in the inning. Swing and a miss on the 1-0 pitch from Krista Lannon. And now the count is 1-1. That's what defense can do. You have first and third with 1 out.
Yep.
You out-execute the offense on a defensive play, and now you have a chance to get out of an inning. The 1-1 pitch coming from Miller. Landon, fastball outside for ball 2.
That's a big out.
Yeah, that was a big out. Also a big morning on campus, Tiger Surf Day, where hundreds, probably 700 or 800 students, I would guess. We'll talk about that here in a second. The 2-1 pitch is a fastball high and outside. Tiger Surf Day, where students get out on the streets of Arkadelphia and do service projects in groups of 5 to 10. I saw several of our athletic teams doing those. I saw the football team, saw the men's and women's basketball team, both tennis teams getting out. And I know as an athletic director, it's good for you to be able to see that as we have a swing and a miss. So now the full count for Madison Miller, 3-2, 2 outs.
Yeah, I always love seeing our student athletes being involved in community engagement like that and being a part of Tiger Serve Day. They do a great job. Of course, teams like this one, they do it in the fall normally. Right. So just a good thing.
The 3-2 pitch, nice job by Landon of staying alive, fouling that one. Ball's probably going to be a little bit wet, Coach.
Yeah, well, there it is. No problem. Well, just about anywhere outside
anywhere
after
today.
Last night. So.
But, yeah, you talk about the fielding, the playing field is in good shape, but also even outside, the only the wettest spot this field's ever had is right between home plate and the visitors' dugout, but even they worked on it and got some dirt in it, and even it's not too bad. The 3-2 pitch, 2 outs. Fastball high for ball 4, and so Lannon gets a full count walk, and so now runners at first and second for Sierra Gasca. 5-2, Ouachita leading in the top of the 5th inning with 2 outs. One reason, Coach, that it's so dry is it has been windy all day long.
It hadn't hurt at all. That and that big yellow thing in the sky.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt at all. But combined with the wind, things have dried up real quick. And I expect tomorrow, after a good night, a cool night, it'll be even more dry, obviously. But thankful for the wind today.
600 got word from Luke Robertson, who's been working with the Eldorado Center as the pitch is low to Gasca. for another ball, over 600 students, 72 projects around town, all the way from private citizens. I know they were working at Parrott Primary doing a lot of painting. Saw some work, some projects with the city of Arkadelphia. So, started in the spring of 1997 after the tornado and has been strong ever since. A bunt laid down. Procure was charging. The throw over to Kirsten Shaw is up the line, and that will get into right field. So one runner will score. Here comes the throw. The second runner gets through and scores on the throw from right field into Jillian Jones. Is not in time. Jones did a nice job of making the catch and a swipe tag, but can't make the play. Can the Ouachita Tigers? That nice charge job by Procure. Throw to Kirsten Shaw, who was covering, and that was one of those where the throw and the runner got there at the same time, and that was a tough play to make. And you got that big yellow thing up there in the sky.
I don't think that helped, no. But that's a tough play, and now we just need to get out of this, keep the lead here.
So now a runner at third, 3-base error, I believe. No, not sure how that would go down. We'll have to look and see how that went down on the live stats, but regardless, that was ruled a hit, I believe, and so now a foul ball down the third base line evens the count at 1-1. Well, no, I believe they did put that down as an error. So yeah, it did go down on an error as an error. So now runner at third base, foul ball back to the net, and the count is 1-2. Coach, you go from 5-1 with 2 outs. The ebbs and the flows. UAM was in control first and third, 1 out. You have a nice execution of the play, and then you have a chance to get out of it and have an error, and UAM is right back in this game at 5-4.
It's amazing how quickly it can change.
The 1-2 pitch, ground ball to Procure, backhands it, throw over is not in time, and an infield hit ties the game, and that was Madison Morrissey with the 2-out RBI infield hit, and that was nice play by Procure, but there's not a whole lot you can do with that.
Yeah, with a left-handed batter.
Yeah, left-handed batter, backhanded it right in front of the bag, and that's the longest of a throw as you can have on a softball diamond. So we are tied 5-5 as Morrissey gets the infield hit and the RBI. And now Haley Cornell, who had a solo home run in the fourth. You have a runner, a ground ball, gets over the glove of Kirsten Shaw. A throw to third. Procure catches it on a hop, and so Cornell gets a single. Morrissey advances to third.
Tough thing here is we should be out of the inning.
Yeah.
But that's competition, and as Coach Grimes comes out to have a little meeting at the circle, and we just sure he's saying just make the plays, girls, make the plays.
You know, I hear a lot of people say, you know, especially during any season this year, you should be glad to be able to have a game to play because of this time, what everybody was doing this time last year. But, boy, you get in those games and you still want to win.
Still want to win. Yeah. And you still, you know, I was talking about that today with the Brad Franz from Northwest Oklahoma came over here to watch his soccer team play, and we're just thinking about this time last year, we were all hunkered down and wondering what we were going to do. So it's just nice to be able to see that our student athletes and coaches can do what they love. And I've said this before, you know, I'm just so thankful for them to be able to get out here and do that.
Alexis Peavyhouse had a single to left after she pinch hit or was subbed into the game for Caroline Tedder. So Alexis Peavyhouse takes a first pitch strike from Madison Miller. So 0-1 the count now to Peavyhouse. The 0-1 pitch is ball one. Actually, this is, Peavyhouse, a sophomore from Melissa, Texas. Runners on the corners for UAM. The go-ahead run is at third base. 2 outs in the inning. Ouachita trying to get out of this one. The 1-1 pitch is outside for ball 2. Three runs on 3 hits. There are 2 errors so far in this inning committed by Ouachita. The 2-1 pitch.
Ooh.
Just misses. This is one, Coach, if we had the technology, and well, this is one of those that would go to K zone on the Major League Baseball. They would zoom around to see where it caught the top of the zone on that one. Regardless, it was a ball 3, so 3 balls, 1 strike. The 3-1 pitch, swing and a pop foul out of play behind us. And the count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Cornell at first will be off with the pitch. PV House will try to give UAM the lead here in the top of the 5th inning. They scored 3 so far, trying to add to that. Miller trying to get back in the dugout with the game tied. The 3-2 pitch. Cornell's off. A shot into the well-placed net in front of the first base dugout.
Yeah.
That's why that's there.
That's why that rule's in place, too.
Yeah.
It's a requirement. And
it's amazing.
Real close how close that is from home plate to the dugout.
Talking to Coach Grimes earlier, you come watch a college baseball game and softball. You know, so much faster pace, so much less reaction time that you have on situations just like that. The 3-2 pitch just misses inside for ball 4. That was a tough one that Madison Miller wanted. And PV House draws the 2-out walk.
We were in Hot Springs last week, a couple of ADs in the state, and we met with our commissioner, Will Pruitt. Hot Springs is building some new baseball fields over there. And actually, there's going to be 4 GAC schools next year that open the season up over there against 4 non-conference schools. And we were looking, they're building the field, and the dugouts that literally are past first and third base. I mean, it's the furthest I've ever seen.
Majestic Park.
And, I mean, it's just, but I mean, they're going to have to take a hike to come back.
Bases loaded. Bailey Camp back to the top of the order for UAM. Bailey Camp reached on an error in the first, singled and scored in the third, grounded out to Madison Miller for the 3rd out of the 4th, and now she bats in the 5th as she is the 9th batter to bat for the Cotton Blossoms this half inning. 1-0 pitch misses high for ball 2, so 2-0 the count now. Madison Miller got Camp to ground out to her for the 3rd out of the end of the 4th inning, and she would love nothing more than to have that exact same situation right here. Bailey Camp trying to get on base for the 3rd time today. The 2-0 pitch misses for ball 3. Nowhere to put Camp, and she is probably going to have the take sign here and make Madison Miller throw at least 1 strike, probably 2. The 3-0 pitch. Right down the middle for strike 1. So nice job by Madison Miller. Three balls, 1 strike. The 3-1 pitch misses for ball 4, and Bailey Camp has an RBI walk, and UAM has taken a 6-5 lead.
Maybe it wasn't a good idea for me to come down here and talk to you, Chris.
Cornell is at 3rd base now. PV House advances to 2nd. And so now Caitlin Stamper comes to the plate for UAM. She led off with a single to center field. I think we have a ball bucket that
somebody was sitting on. It got dumped over. I don't know if that was out of frustration or I think coach might have kicked the bucket and didn't realize it had balls in it. And
do see a pitcher in the Ouachita bullpen, Nicole Areola, warming up or getting loose in the Ouachita bullpen. Ground ball to Procure. She snags it backhand and is able to step on the bag for the 3rd out of the inning. 3rd out of the inning, but it comes after UAM scores 4 runs on 3 hits. There were 2 errors in the inning and 3 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The Tigers have some work to do. UAM 6, Ouachita 5. We'll be back after this on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. Back to the top of the order for Ouachita, Hope Wade, and it'll be Heather Brown and Sloan Precure as Ouachita now has to battle back. Trailing 6-5 after UAM scored 4 in the 5th inning. Battling back from a 5-2 deficit. Our thanks to Ouachita Athletic Director David Sharp for spending a few minutes with us. Wade ahead in the count, 1-0, takes a ball outside for ball 2. Wade singled and scored in the 1st, tripled and scored in the 2nd. She'll try to get things going for Ouachita in the 5th. Two and 1 the count now to Wade. The 2-1 pitch, change up, and the third baseman will come in and make the catch. That is Grace Neal. So Wade is retired on the P5. Change up got her. And now with 1 out, Heather Brown steps into the box for Ouachita. Brown looks at the first pitch. Outside for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch catches the zone for strike 1. New pitcher into the game for UAM. The new pitcher is Jamie Franks, a junior from Kennedale, Texas. Puts one high in the zone, and Brown fouls that one down the first baseline for strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning of this 7-inning game. Heather Brown trying to get things going for the Tigers, facing a new pitcher into the game for UAM, Jamie Franks. The 1-2 pitch just misses. And we're even at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch shot into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. And the right fielder, Morrissey, was trying to field the ball and see if she had a play at first base, but she didn't field it cleanly. So Heather Brown reaches on a single to right field to bring up Sloan Precure. We'll close the book on Maddie Chalenberg. Chalenberg pitches 4 innings. She gave up 5 hits. And she is in line for the win. Procure, ground ball to Grace Neal at third. It eats her up, and runners will advance. So Procure reaches on the E5. That is the first error of the game for the Cotton Blossoms. Heather Brown reaches second. Grace Neal had the big hop and might have tried to be in the middle of trying to decide what she wanted to do with it, and couldn't do anything with it as the ball went off of her chest into the ground, and runners advance. So Jill Jones steps in a big spot. Frank's first offering is out of the zone for ball one. Jones walked and scored in the first. Grounded out to shortstop in the third, 0 for 1 with walk. The 1-0 pitch. The changeup that misses. Jones did a nice job of holding off of that one, and the count is now 2-0 to the Ouachita catcher. Jones, the junior from, and it's Texas. The 2-0 pitch, shot to shortstop. Nice backhanded play. The throw to Neal retires Brown at third base. Brown retired on the 6-5 put out. Procure advances to second. Jones reaches on the fielder's choice. And now we have a pinch hitter for Ouachita. It's Lexi Foreman, the sophomore from Mesquite, Texas. Foreman bats in the spot where Lauren Lester was. Lester started the game at at first base, and then was replaced by a Doctor, who started the game as designated player. So Lexi Foreman steps to the plate, sophomore from Mesquite, Texas, North Mesquite High School. Steps in from the left side. Pitch hit at bat for Foreman, her second of the season, second official at bat of the season, with runners at first and second. Takes the first pitch she sees. The 1-0 pitch is taken for a called strike one. So 1-1 the count now to Lexi Foreman, who steps in from the left side, pitch hitting for Lester here in the fifth. Runner in scoring position for Ouachita is Sloan Procure. Foreman, shot to right field. That's going to get down. Morrissey fields it. They're going to send Procure. They are. They let the throw go, and it's not in time. An RBI single to right field for Lexi Foreman. Scorer Sloan Procure from second. Coach Grimes was waving her around the whole time. They were going to make the defense make a play. Morrissey's throw came in, a two-hop. It wasn't cut. UAM let the throw go all the way to the catcher, Godot. And the two-hop, it was a nice catch by the catcher and tried to with the swipe tag, but Sloan Procure slides in safely. It's an RBI single to right field for Lexi Foreman. And on the play, the runner at second base is pinch runner for Jill Jones, stands at second base. Foul ball from Callie Jordan as she swung on the first pitch she saw, and if that had been fair, I think she would have been safe, because the first baseman was charging to field the play and the second baseman didn't cover. If that had been fair, Jordan would have reached first base, but unfortunately for Ouachita in that instance, it was foul. The count is 0-1 Jordan. The 0-1 pitch is a changeup that misses for ball one. Foreman at first. Got out there a little bit, almost drew a throw from Godot. Jordan, the 1-1 pitch, a shot into left field. Is it going to get down? It does not. A line drive into the glove of Mahala Mitchell. retires the side for UAM, but Ouachita is able to get 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 UAM error, 2 runners left on base. Ouachita has stranded 4 runners today. UAM has stranded 8. After 5 complete, we are tied at 6, and we'll be back with the top of the 6th inning after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
There's a place to share gossip about the office party fun, and a place to share the story you tell everyone. There's a place to share a laugh about when things went wrong, and a place to share the video of you dancing to your song. There's a place to share spare change, lunch, and your time. But we could all be better at sharing how we're feeling inside. 76% of employees have struggled with at least one issue that affected their mental health. When you share, you're not alone.
.690 for UAM. 6.73 for Ouachita. A lot of stats has 8. We have 7, but regardless, it's only that first column that matters. 6 runs for both teams as we start the top of the 6th inning, and Madison Miller goes back to the circle for Ouachita. Haley Godot leads things off for UAM. It's Caitlin Stamper that had the fielder's choice to end the 5th inning. So Haley Godot stands in. 0 for 3 on the day. Flew out to right field in the 1st, grounded out to short in the 3rd, and grounded out to 1st in the 5th. Kendall Doctor stands at first base, shielding her eyes. The 0-1 pitch, shot into right field. Callie Jordan ranges over to her right and makes the catch for the first out of the inning on the F9 put out. Grace Neal comes to the plate. Neal is 1 for 3. She had an RBI double in the 3rd, grounded out to third base in the 1st, and reached on an error and scored in the 4-run 5th for UAM. Madison Miller still in the circle for Ouachita in her 6th inning of work as we are tied at 6 in this first of a 3-game GAC set. 1-1 pitch is a pop just behind the first base bag. Jordan can't quite get to it, and it is a foul ball, and so the count is 1-1. That ball had some tail away as the right-handed batter went opposite field, tailing away from Jordan in right field. Kirsten Shaw at second gave good chase. The 1-1 pitch, change up that misses high for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. 2-1 pitch, a high fly ball to deep right center field, and then the Sully Anderson field is not going to be able to hold that one. And Grace Neal puts UAM on top again with a solo home run just over the 205 sign for UAM's 2nd home run of the game, and we are going to have a pitching change for Ouachita as Nicole Areola will come into the circle, replacing Madison Miller. We'll give you the line on Nicole Areola. when we come back after this timeout. As Nicole gets her warm-up pitches, we'll take a break and be back with more of the top of the sixth after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
Wichita.
Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita.
Ouachita. Ouachita.
How would you pronounce it?
Ouachita.
Ouachita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Ouachita, people. It's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
This will be the pitch to Nicole Areola comes in. Nicole is a senior from Corsicana, Texas. The 11th appearance of the season for Nicole Areola. She has 4 wins on the season to 5 losses. Had a complete game win against Henderson State. Struck out 18 batters. And she comes into the game with Ouachita trailing 7-6. First batter she will face in this UAM lineup is Krista Lannon. She's 0 for 0 with a walk, 0 for 0 with a walk. She scored after that walk in the 5th inning. 7-6 UAM. Swing and a miss. And the count is 1-2. Excuse me, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Here in the top of the 6th, the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Pitched 6 innings in game at Arkansas Tech last week. Also made 2 appearances in that series. The 2-2 pitch, they're going to appeal, and they are going to say she offered at the pitch. And so that goes down as a strikeout for Krista Lannon. It's the 2nd out of the inning as Areola came into the game with 1 out here in the 6th. So 2 outs now for Sierra Gasca, the center fielder. 1 for 3. Singled on a bunt in the 2nd, reached on an error in the 5th. First pitch taken for a called strike 1. Areola's ahead in the count 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Gasca squared around a bunt and pulled it back. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Ouachita trying to get back to the dugout and an answer. UAM's 1 run. The 1-1 pitch misses outside. Nicole asking the home plate umpire, was it outside? And he signaled with his left hand that it was. So 2-1 the count now. The 2-1 pitch, squares around a bunt, drops it in front of the plate. Doctor fields it, throws over to Shaw, who covers nicely. And Gasca is retired on the 3-4 put out for the 3rd out of the inning. So 1 run on 1 hit, and that was the solo home run from Grace Neal. There were no errors and no runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th. UAM 7, Ouachita 6. Back to Sully Anderson Field after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
We start the bottom of the 6th, and it will be Nicole Areola leading things off for Ouachita. She just came in to replace Madison Miller in the circle in the top of the 6th, and she leads things off from the plate here in the bottom of the 6th. And she gets hit with the first pitch she sees. Not very many at-bats for Nicole Areola, and so therefore you see the excitement from the team as Nicole reaches base. First official at-bat, actually going down to the official at-bat. She does reach base now to start things off. Kendall Doctor comes up now with Areola at first base. Doctor 1 for 2, singled in the first. Takes the first pitch she sees for a called strike 1, catches just the outer part of the plate. Stands in the front of the box, facing Franks, who came in the 5th. Squares around a bunt and pulls it back. Areola goes to second. She reaches as that pitch bounced before it got to the catcher. Areola gets credit for the stolen base. The throw was in front of the bag. Coach Grimes is trying to see if they can pinch run for Areola, and they cannot. So she is going to run at second base. Can't pinch run for her. You got to take her out. So Kendall Doctor steps in with a 1-1 count. Areola the tying run at second. The 1-1 pitch catches the top part of the zone for a called strike 2. So now 1 ball, 2 strikes on Kendall Doctor. A lot of room in right center field. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Doctor is retired on the strikeout for the first out of the inning. And Kendall Moyer comes to the plate. Moyer 0 for 2, grounded out to second base in both of her at-bats in the 2nd and the 4th. She bats with Nicole Areola in scoring position. Outside, ball 1 from Franks. Another left-handed batter. See Grace Neal stepping about 5 steps in front of the bag at third base. The 1-0 pitch right down Main Street for strike 1. So now 1-1 the count to Kendall Moyer. The left fielder for Ouachita has a chance to tie the game as the center fielder moves up to a straight up defensive position now, right behind the mound, the circle. That would change up, wasn't going to get anybody to go fishing, as Moyer left that one outside in the right-handed batter's box. Two balls, 1 strike. 2-1 pitch is also outside for ball. Ooh, that, never mind. Well, I still stand by my statement. It was outside, but my judgment's not the one that matters. That's a tough one for Moyer to take, or to have called against her, but it is a called strike 2, so now she's going to have to protect. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. And Kendall Moyer is retired for the 3rd time today. For the 2nd out of the inning, it's going to be up to Hope Wade if we're going to extend this inning. Here in the 6th inning of this 7-inning game, the tying run for Ouachita is Nicole Areola standing at second base. Hope Wade has a single and a triple to her credit for this game. That was in the first and the second inning. Those came in the first and the second. RBI opportunity. First pitch she sees from Franks is outside. Did get word from Coach Sharp that baseball, the Tiger baseball team, got 6 runs in the 9th inning at Monticello. Held the Boll Weevils in the bottom half of the inning and won 11-9. 1-0 pitch to Hope Wade, outside, ball 2. So the Tiger baseball team with a big 9th inning, down 4 at least, score 6 innings to go up 11-9, hold them in the bottom of the 9th and get a win in Monticello. Tigers softball trying to do the same to come back. The 2-0 pitch is outside as well. They're not going to give Hope Wade anything on that inside part of the plate. 3 straight fastballs have been in the exact same spot inside the chalk of the right-handed batter's box. See if they go back there and have the unintentional and intentional walk. No, they are going to come back and nibble on that outside part of the plate for strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike now to Wade. The 3-1 pitch. Ground ball, foul down the first base line. I think Franks missed her spot on that one, and she got away with one. As Wade caught the top half of the softball and pounded it into the ground and pulled it foul. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tying run is at second base. Big spot for both teams in this game. The 3-2 pitch is a ball 4, and Wade is walked. Now 2 runners on for Heather Brown. Brown is 2 for 3, 2 for 2. Actually had a sac bunt in the 3rd, single to right field in the 1st and the 5th. First baseman playing even with the bag. Second baseman shading Brown to pull because that's where her 2 hits have gone today. Franks throws a changeup. Brown holds off. And she's ahead in the count, 1-0. Brown from Mount Vernon, Texas. 1-0 pitch. And the fastball called, strike 1. Franks has been able to get the call on that outside part of the plate. I believe we're going to have a sub in the middle of the, we're going to have a sub in the middle of the at-bat. We're going to re-enter. Well, maybe not. Yep, we're going to re-enter the starter, Sydney Webster, into right field. She's going to replace Madison Morrissey. So Webster got the start in right field. She was replaced in the 4th inning by Morrissey, and now she's going to re-enter into the game here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So Webster returns to right field where she started, although the sun was a little bit higher the last time she was out there as she tries to adjust to the sun being right in her eyes. It's only in the eyes of 2 players on the field right now. That's second base and right field. Center field a little bit, but not directly in the eye. So Heather Brown stands in. 1-1 is the count as we have had the substitute in the middle of the at-bat. The 1-1 pitch on the outside part of the plate for strike 2. Boy, Franks has been living on that outside part of the plate, and she has found success out there. See if she tries to go back or tries to jam Brown. The catcher, Godos, it looks like she's setting up outside. The 1-2 pitch, a shot to center field. That's going to get through. Areola's going to round third, and she's going to score without a throw. The center fielder bobbles the ball. They're going to send the runner home from second, and she's going to score as well. And the Tigers have taken a lead on tremendous base running from Hope Wade. Coach Grimes sent Hope Wade. I don't think UAM expected Hope Wade to try to score from third base. Actually, she scored from first base. Ariola scored from second. Hope Wade was off on contact. The center fielder for UAM, Gaslicka, bobbled the ball. Hope Wade didn't stop. She did not stop her stride. Coach Grimes waved her around third, and they were going to make UAM make a play. They did not, and the Tigers have an 8-7 lead here in the bottom of the sixth. Boy, that changes things significantly. Tremendous hit by Heather Brown. And now Sloan Precure comes up. I'm not sure if she'll get 2 RBIs or just 1. Obviously, we'll get 1 with Ariola at second. It may have been the bobble that allowed Hope Wade to keep running at second. So at least 1 RBI. Not sure if it will be 2 or not, but regardless, Ouachita has taken. We have a throwback down to Brown on the changeup as they tried to catch Brown getting a little bit too much of a jump off of second base. So a big hit from Heather Brown, her 3rd hit of the day. That was a single to left center field, an RBI single that ended up scoring 2. Now she's in scoring position. Precure nubs that one back to Franks, and the throw is over to first base for the out. But, man, how things change. For Ouachita, it changed negatively in the 5th as Ouachita was up 5-1, got the second out, and then UAM was able to, on a tremendous play, to throw a runner out at home, and then UAM was able to score 4 runs to tie the game. It changed for the positively for Ouachita. On the positive side for Ouachita, they're in the bottom of the 6th with 2 outs, runners at first and second. Heather Brown with a shot into the left center field gap. Nicole Ariola scored from second. Hope Wade with tremendous base running, not stopping her stride. And Coach Grimes sending her. She scored safely. And now Ouachita has a 1-run lead as we start the 7th. Nicole Ariola had the go-ahead run, and she'll try to the tying run. After Hope Wade scored the go-ahead run, Nicole will come out and try to close it out here in the top of the 7th when we return on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
It's an ordinary day. Stephanie's driving home from school, like she does every day. Since she's almost home, she takes a quick glance at her phone, like she does every day. She arrives safely, like she does every day. It's another ordinary day. But then, something out of the ordinary happens. Distracted driving kills.
Every year, 4.5 million young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 visit the ER.
It's every parent's
when you need it most. Download your U-Emergency app now.
It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Cotton Blossoms if they want to extend this to the bottom of the 7th. Nicole Ariola on trying to get the win now for Ouachita as she came in relief of Madison Morris after UAM took a 7-6 lead. She retired the 2 batters she faced in the 6th, got hit by a pitch and scored the tying run in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch she sees from Webster does not check her swing. Now Sydney Webster is back into the lineup for UAM. She got the start in right field. She was subbed out for Madison Morrissey. She was a defensive substitution in the bottom of the 6th, and now she leads off the top of the 7th. The 0-1 pitch. Nice job by Jones of trying to frame that one, but it didn't quite get the call. It was outside. A nice job by Jones of trying to get that strike, but the count is even at 1-1. I believe the 1-1 pitch popped out of play. Strike 2. Trying to replace a battery in our center field camera so we can give you that angle, but until then we'll give you the view from the penthouse high above Sully Anderson Field. See the practice field on the far side. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to shortstop. Wade fields the throw over to Doctor at first in time for the first out of the inning. On the 6-3 put out. Nice play by Hope Wade. Nice fielding and getting a nice throw over to Doctor at first base. Haley Cornell comes up. She had a home run in the 4th. A solo shot. A solo shot here would tie the game. 8-7. First pitch. A shot just up the middle. Kirsten Shaw ranges to her right and makes the play. Tremendous job by Kirsten Shaw on a lazy line drive just over the head of Nicole Ariola. Shaw ranges to her right at the second base bag, and makes a good throw over to Doctor, who made a good stretch for the second out of the inning. And Cornell is retired on the 4-3 put out, and now it'll be up to Alexis Peavyhouse. She replaced Caroline Tedder in the lineup in the third. She's 1 for 1 with a walk. 2 outs, top of the 7th. 1 out remaining, ground ball to Procure. She fields it, up the throw, in time. Ball game over. That is a Ouachita winner. 8-7. The Tigers get the comeback win over the UAM Cotton Blossoms with a big bottom of the 6th inning, scoring 2 runs. And just how fast things can change. The Tigers, who were in moments of frustration after giving up the 5-1 lead, came back and got the lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. And then Ariola comes out and closes it out 1-2-3 with a 6-3, 4-3, 5-3 put out to give Ouachita the 8-7 win. The final line score you see for UAM, 7 runs on 10 hits. There was 1 Cotton Blossom error. For the Ouachita Tigers, 8 runs on 9 hits, 3 errors. They did not cost the Tigers the game, although they would like to clean those up a little bit, I'm sure. Again, your final score, Ouachita 8, Monticello 7, UAM 7. The Tigers go to 12-10 in GAC conference play, and they'll be back here at Sully Anderson Field tomorrow for a doubleheader, try to win the series in Game 1, and UAM will try to tie things up and force a rubber match in Game 2. For Luke Robertson, Noah Brown, James Jolly, and the rest of us students of our Ouachita Sports Digital Network, this is Chris Babb saying thanks for tuning in. Again, your final score, Ouachita 8, UAM 7. We'll be back on the air about 12:50 tomorrow afternoon for Game 2 between the Tigers and the Cotton Blossoms. Have a fun, safe Saturday evening, everybody.
When we talk about communications and media, we're talking about a wide variety of things, because communications really relate to anybody, anywhere. And we tackle everything from interpersonal communication, group communication, how to make presentations, to studying mass communications, media. And our students are really interested in going out and being media producers. And one of the first things you have to do is to understand the media before you can adequately and efficiently communicate messages yourself, do your job, whatever you choose to do. When you're here your very first semester, you can become involved in the Ouachita Signal, the Ouachitonian Yearbook, the online Signal, the Photo Lab, visual media production, sports media production. There's a lot of different areas to get involved with. These students publish our printed publications, and they also have a chance for continuing education by attending such events like the Arkansas College Media Convention and the College Media Association Convention in New York City. You don't have to wait in line till your junior or senior year to do hands-on learning. You'll get that experience your very first semester, even if you have no previous experience. We have graduates who are working with television stations, either as an anchor, as a producer, as a videographer. We have students in advertising and public relations firms where they're creating strategic plans for organizations and businesses. Our students learn in the classroom and experience, but we also enjoy fellowshipping and becoming close as a family. Faculty often have students over to their house for Christmas parties or spring parties or celebrate graduations. Our students form friendships that will last a lifetime. Over the past 3 decades, some of the most important people in my life of my husband, since we together, are students and faculty and staff that we've come in contact with at Ouachita. We're excited about what we have to offer in the communications department at Ouachita, and we want you here to share that.
Getting directions to Ouachita Baptist University.